Before the era of CGI and foam-padded costumes took over Hollywood, the silver screen once shook under the presence of real flesh-and-blood giants. This wasn't the mainstream fitness aesthetic, but the sheer dominance of raw physique 20-inch arms bulging with power bodies weighing over 300 pounds and colossal chests that challenged every tailor. They weren't trained actors, but Mr. Universe champions or legendary fighters phenoms, blessed with rare genetics and extraordinary builds. Throughout the last 3 decades of the 20th century, muscle itself was money. Whether they were European bruisers with broken English or gridiron superstars, they proved one truth: primal strength has an eternal allure. No padding, no effects, just pure strength that made audiences believe one person could take on an entire army alone. If you agree this was the era of the truest muscle, comment 1. If you're still unsure, comment 0. Enjoy the video and don't forget to like, share, and leave a sub for support. And now let's dive into the story. Ralph Moeller, the German Hercules, whom many viewers today may have forgotten, was actually one of the pioneers who laid the foundation for the European strongman image in Hollywood, even before Arnold Schwarzenegger ignited a global phenomenon. During the quiet revival of European sword and sandal films and American action cinema, Moeller steadily built a muscular legacy that could never be overlooked. Born in 1959 in Recklinghausen, Germany, Moeller won the Mr. Universe title in 1988. Standing 6'4" and weighing around 275 lbs during his competitive peak, he possessed a massive physique with powerfully developed muscles far surpassing most other male actors. When he transitioned into acting, that imposing build allowed him to perfectly embody ancient warriors or law enforcement characters who radiated intimidation from the very first glance. His biggest milestone came with the 1990s TV series Conan the Adventurer, where Moeller took on the role of Conan, a character long associated with Schwarzenegger. Although the show never became a blockbuster, Moeller's strength and agility were undeniable, a body carved like stone, yet moving with the softness and fluidity of a true athlete. After that, he appeared in Ridley Scott's Gladiator as Hagen, the towering German warrior fighting alongside Russell Crowe. This became one of the most successful films of the decade. Moeller went on to appear in The Scorpion King, Bad Boys 2, and the Viking sagas. Off-screen, he is a close friend of Arnold Schwarzenegger, frequently training at Gold's Gym Venice and maintaining the classic bodybuilding style that defined the sport's golden era. Moeller is a symbol of discipline, heavy lifts, high-intensity training, and a year-round workout regimen. Unlike many bodybuilders who lose their conditioning after transitioning into acting, he always maintained his physique, fully aware that his appearance was the key to his career. Directors sought him out whenever they needed someone who could command the entire frame through presence alone. The cinematic universe didn't turn him into a legend, but it made him an undeniable force in every film he appeared in. Ralph Moeller proved that discipline and persistence can matter more than fame. You don't need to be the most famous. Just do your best at what you can do and stay committed to it, and you can still create a mark no one else can replace. Sven-Ole Thorsen is considered Arnold Schwarzenegger's secret weapon. If every action star needs a stunt performer strong enough to stand beside them, Arnold needed someone even more massive. And he found that in Thorsen, the Danish bodybuilder who later became one of Hollywood's most reliable muscular figures. Born in 1944 in Copenhagen, Denmark, Thorsen competed in bodybuilding and strength exhibitions across Europe before Arnold recruited him for Conan the Barbarian, 1982. Standing over 6'3", and weighing more than 280 lullabies at his peak, he possessed a colossal physique, perfect for villains, henchmen, or characters who exerted pressure simply through their presence. Over his career, Thorsen appeared in more than 60 films frequently alongside Arnold Conan the Destroyer, Red Sonja Raw Deal, The Running Man, Red Heat Twins, Total Recall. Arnold trusted him with challenging action sequences, intense collision scenes, and even physical comedy bits, all while maintaining his signature intimidating presence. With limited English, he often played roles with few lines, but Thorsen's physique itself was a language. Beyond projects with Arnold, he also appeared in Lethal Weapon Hard Target Mallrats by Kevin Smith and numerous action films that required real muscular bodies, no special effects needed. He trained at Gold's Gym Venice, alongside many legends, maintaining competition-level fitness well into his 50s through discipline and traditional training methods. What made Thorsen stand out wasn't just his size, but his willingness to do whatever it took to get the perfect shot, falling from heights, being thrown across tables, enduring multiple collisions, all while keeping his co-stars safe. He understood that in action, film's stunt performers make the stars shine, and Thorsen was the one who made Arnold look like an unstoppable warrior. Arnold received the spotlight. Sven took the bruises. Yet together they made action film history. Sven-Ole Thorsen proved that not everyone stands in the center, but quiet dedication and professional work ethic always create real value. Sometimes it's the person behind the scenes who helps forge the legend. Vernon Wells brought a real threat to the post-apocalyptic worlds of cinema with nothing but his muscles' signature mohawk and a commanding presence in every movement. Born in 1945 in Australia, he was a bodybuilder and acted throughout the 1970s before landing the role that would change his entire career. The role of Wes the Crazed Mohawk Warrior in Mad Max 2. The Road Warrior 1981 elevated Wells to iconic status. With a chiseled physique, leather and metal armor, broad shoulders and muscles honed through years of disciplined weight training, Wes was the kind of villain audiences believed could tear his opponents apart with his bare hands. Wells didn't just act the part, he embodied it, creating an iconic archetype of 1980s cinema villainy. He continued his success with the role of Bennett in Commando 1985, going head-to-head with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The final battle between the two became legendary. Wells gave Arnold a worthy adversary, making the showdown tense and believable, so much so that audiences could feel the power coming from both sides. In addition, he appeared in Weird Science Inner Space and many other action films where his muscular physique and intense presence made him a top choice for truly threatening villain roles. Wells maintained a regular training regimen for years, keeping his body strong well into middle age. What set him apart wasn't just his powerful appearance, but the way he moved like a predator stalking its prey. Every gesture, every glance conveyed a sense of danger. And as the familiar saying goes, a hero is only as strong as his villain is frightening. Vernon Wells fulfilled that role perfectly, making the heroes he faced appear even more legendary. Wells showed that when you put your heart into your role, whether as a protagonist or antagonist, you can leave a lasting mark. You don't need to be the most celebrated. By fully committing to your part, you can become an unforgettable icon. Sonny Landham has always been regarded as Hollywood's most dangerous predator. When you need to assemble an elite team of warriors to face an alien creature, you have to find faces that look like they could actually survive. And Sonny Landham didn't just have a fearsome appearance, he carried the boldness and genuine presence of a seasoned man. Born in 1941 in Canton, Georgia, with Cherokee and Seminole heritage, Landham was a bodybuilder and stuntman before officially pursuing an acting career. Standing 6'4", with a thick, solid, and commanding physique, he made many directors take notice even before he spoke a line. Landham's build wasn't the sculpted muscle of a bodybuilder, it was the raw strength of a man who had done hard labor and trained with both muscle and real-world experience. His defining role was Billy in Predator 1987, a Native American warrior, calm yet deadly fighting alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, and Jesse Ventura. Among a cast of towering figures, Landham still stood out thanks to his raw physical strength and unmistakable warrior presence. His shirtless scenes showcased a solid, powerful physique, and the final showdown with the Predator became one of the film's most memorable moments. Before Predator, Landham appeared in 48 Hers alongside Eddie Murphy Poltergeist and numerous other action films where his appearance and background helped him make a strong impression as warriors or dangerous men. Landham's life off-screen was full of turbulence, but on-screen he brought immense energy and remarkable endurance. He trained with weights for years, maintaining a thick, heavy physique, rather than trying to cut for definition, understanding that it was this bulk that made him stand out. Billy stood alone against the Predator, and Sonny Landham off-screen remains one of the most underrated muscle icons of classic action cinema. Landham teaches us that true strength comes not just from appearance, but from spirit and experience. When you bring authenticity to any role, you leave a mark without needing to try to be someone else. Bill Duke is often remembered as a sharp director and an actor specializing in villainous roles, but few recall that in the early years of his career, he brought an astonishing display of muscular power to action cinema, a testament that intelligence and physical strength can go hand in hand. Born in 1943 in Poughkeepsie, New York, Duke graduated from Boston University and went on to study at the American Film Institute, all while maintaining a rigorous physical training regimen. Unlike many formally trained actors who focus solely on performance, Duke spent years building a powerful physique through regular weight training. Standing 6'4" with broad shoulders and solid arms, he had the ideal build for roles as soldiers, police officers, or authoritative characters with natural presence. Duke's most iconic muscular role came in Predator 1987, where he played Sergeant Mack, one of the elite warriors hunting the alien alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, and Jesse Ventura. Among a cast already known for their size, Bill Duke still stood out. Scenes of him carrying a heavy machine gun or moving through the jungle in full combat gear showcased his imposing physique and real strength. Yet it was his steely gaze and inner intensity that made Mack one of the film's most memorable characters. Beyond Predator, Duke appeared in Commando American Gigolo and later Exit Wounds. But his major turning point came behind the camera directing films like A Rage in Harlem Deep Cover and numerous successful TV series over several decades. Duke never allowed himself to be boxed into the stereotype of a muscular big guy. He used his physique when necessary, but never let it define him. Bill Duke's physique opened doors. His intelligence kept him there, and his talent made him indispensable. Duke proves that the greatest strength doesn't lie in muscles, but in knowing who you are and choosing who you want to become. When intelligence and physical power are combined, You can reach beyond any limits others try to impose on you. Tommy "Tiny" Lister is one of the most recognizable figures in Hollywood, a giant with a body that seemed assembled from several men. Standing 6'5" and weighing over 300 pounds of pure muscle, Lister looked like a villain straight out of a comic book. Yet what surprised audiences the most was the complete contrast between his fearsome appearance and the kind-hearted soul within. Born in 1958 in Compton, California, Lister was blind in his right eye from birth. Despite this, he never let it hold him back. He played college football, then pursued professional wrestling before turning to acting, where his massive frame immediately drew attention. With enormous arms, a thick, powerful build, and a chest that required custom tailoring, Lister had an appearance that commanded respect from any director. His breakthrough role came in Friday, 1995, where he played Debo, a notorious bully who terrorizes Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. Although portraying a villain, Lister infused Debo with humanity and a unique sense of humor, turning the character into a pop culture icon. Thanks to this success, he became the go-to choice for roles as an invincible giant. Lister continued to make his mark through a series of memorable roles: President Lindbergh in The Fifth Element, Zeus in No Holds Barred opposite Hulk Hogan, and notably as the prisoner in The Dark Knight, who steadfastly refuses to detonate the ship, a moment that showcased profound humanity and moved audiences. Off-screen, Lister was a gentle, devout man who often guided and supported younger actors. Throughout his career, he trained diligently to maintain his physique and uphold professional discipline. Tommy "Tiny" Lister passed away in 2020 from complications of COVID-19, leaving a deep sense of loss among his fans. Debo may have looked like a monster, but Tommy was a kind-hearted man. His body belonged to Hollywood. His heart belonged to humanity. Tommy Lister reminds us never to judge someone by appearances alone. True strength lies in how we treat others, not in size or intimidation, but in kindness and sincerity. Michael Clarke Duncan is living proof that a man can rise from a quiet career as a bodyguard to become an Oscar-nominated actor. While many actors spend years training to achieve the right physique, Duncan appeared on screen with a naturally imposing frame of over 300 pounds of muscle, something no gym regimen could fully replicate. Born in 1957 in Chicago, Illinois, Duncan stood 6'5" tall and possessed a massive, powerful frame. Before acting, he worked as a bodyguard for stars like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx, and even Notorious B.I.G. His enormous body, broad shoulders, huge arms, and incredibly sturdy legs made him the perfect human shield. It wasn't the sculpted muscles of a bodybuilder, but natural strength reinforced by disciplined training. Will Smith was the first to see in Duncan something beyond the role of a bodyguard and encouraged him to pursue acting. His first breakthrough came with Armageddon 1998, where he played a tough oil driller. But it was The Green Mile 1999 that truly elevated him to elite acting status. As John Coffey, a gentleman with extraordinary strength, Duncan delivered a deeply emotional performance that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. This was a major triumph of the spirit for a man who had often been typecast in intimidating roles. The half-body shots in The Green Mile showcased Duncan's massive physique, but it was the vulnerability and warmth within his character that truly moved audiences. Duncan proved that a towering man could still deliver nuanced acting and convey deep emotion. After that, he continued to succeed in the whole 9 yards Planet of the Apes daredevil as Kingpin Sin City and voiced General Vachir in Kung Fu Panda. Duncan always maintained a physique over 300 pounds thanks to rigorous training and a strict diet. Directors chose him not just for his size, but for his commanding presence and respectable character. In 2012, Duncan passed away from a heart attack at the age of 54, leaving behind deep sorrow. His legacy serves as a reminder: muscles do not limit a person, they are merely a springboard. Duncan proved that true strength lies in the heart and talent. Clarke Duncan teaches us not to let anyone define or confine us. No matter where you start, as long as you have faith, effort, and a good heart, you can reach heights no one ever imagined. In 2012, Duncan passed away from a heart attack at the age of 54, leaving behind deep sorrow. His legacy serves as a reminder: muscles do not limit a person, they are merely a springboard. Duncan proved that true strength lies in the heart and talent. Clarke Duncan teaches us not to let anyone define or confine us. No matter where you start, as long as you have faith, effort, and a good heart, you can reach heights no one ever imagined. Born in 1941 in Ololai, Sardinia, Italy, Columbu grew up in a shepherding family and developed natural strength early through hard physical labor. When he entered bodybuilding, he possessed one of the most densely packed physiques in the sport: thick-wrapped arms, a full chest, and legs as powerful as stone pillars, making him look like a cartoon character come to life. Franco won Mr. Olympia in 1976 and 1981, serving as a living proof that genetics, discipline, and determination can matter more than height. But Columbu was not just a bodybuilder. He was a powerful strongman with astonishing feats: a deadlift over 340 kilos, a bench press above 220 kilos, and strength demonstrations like bending steel or lifting an entire car. One of his most famous acts was inflating and bursting a hot water bottle using only his breath, a testament to the extraordinary power of his lungs. At Arnold's invitation, Franco came to the U.S., becoming his lifelong training partner and close friend. When Arnold ventured into acting, he always brought Franco along, from Conan the Barbarian to the Terminator. Despite his modest height, Franco's dense muscular physique made him completely convincing as a warrior and soldier. Beyond acting, Columbu was also a chiropractor, author, and successful fitness consultant. He trained consistently until the end of his life, living by the philosophy of natural strength, heavy lifting discipline, and healthy eating. Franco passed away in 2019 at the age of 78, leaving a significant legacy in both bodybuilding and sports medicine. Arnold became the most famous star. Franco became the strongest man. And both became legends, differing by just a few inches in height. Franco Columbu proved that limits don't lie in the size of your body, but in the magnitude of your effort. Persistence and the density of hard work are what create true strength. What do you think of this inspiring story? Leave a comment with 1 if you agree, or 0 if you have a different thought. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to support us. And now let's continue following the next developments. Jesse Ventura is one of the rare figures who embodies 3 worlds in a single person: the military, entertainment, and politics. Before Hollywood knew him as an action star, Ventura had actually gone through challenges that many characters in films only pretend to face. Born in 1951 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with the birth name James George Janos Ventura joined the Navy after graduating high school and served in Underwater Demolition Team 12, the precursor to the Navy SEALs. His years in the military forged a steel-like discipline, enduring spirit and professional ethics, all of which laid the foundation for the muscular physique he maintained after leaving the service. Standing 6'4", 1.93 nmars, and weighing over 250 lbs, 113 kilograms, Ventura entered professional wrestling under the nickname Jesse the Body Ventura, where he developed a confident performance style, a valuable asset for his later acting career. His breakthrough came in Predator 1987, where he played Blaine, the team's heavy weapons specialist. Ventura stood out from the very first frame: massive biceps, broad chest, a commanding voice, and the presence of a one-man army. His iconic line, "I ain't got time to bleed," became a cultural hallmark. His chemistry with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Carl Weathers, and Bill Duke helped elevate the film to classic status. Despite the grueling shoot in the jungle, Ventura's military experience enabled him to meet every physical demand. He then appeared in The Running Man, Abraxas Guardian of the Universe Demolition Man, alongside Sylvester Stallone and Batman and Robin, continuing to cement his status in action films. But Ventura's greatest legacy came off-screen. He served as mayor of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and made national headlines when he was elected governor of Minnesota in 1998 as a Reform Party candidate. Ventura proved that a professional wrestler or action star could step into the political arena as a true leader. Ventura maintained weight training throughout his life, even while serving as governor. For him, physique was more than appearance. It was a part of his life discipline. The Navy taught him strength. Wrestling taught him expression. Hollywood taught him charisma. Minnesota politics proved he was more than just muscles. Jesse Ventura shows us that no one's path is ever limited. Whether coming from the military, the wrestling ring, or the movie set, with discipline and self-belief, you can step into a new arena and succeed on your own terms. Carl Weathers is living proof that real athletic experience can create an action icon. Many actors have to train to look strong, but Carl Weathers was genuinely strong thanks to his background as a professional football player. Born in 1948 in New Orleans, Weathers played linebacker for San Diego State University before signing with the Oakland Raiders in 1970. He later played for the BC Lions in the Canadian Football League, where those grueling years forged his lean physique and natural strength. Standing 6'4", and weighing around 220 pounds with lean, defined muscles, Weathers possessed a rare, balanced physique perfect for the screen, yet practical for a real athlete. After retiring from the gridiron, he took on the role that would change his life, Apollo Creed, in Rocky 1976. Weathers' body was ideal for the image of a boxing champion: tight abs, broad shoulders, powerful arms, and the confident presence of an elite athlete. He brought Apollo to life with glamour, authority, and charisma that left a lasting impression on audiences across all 4 films. Not stopping at Rocky, Weathers further cemented his status in Predator 1987 alongside Arnold Schwarzenegger. Among a cast full of towering physiques, Weathers still stood out with athletic prowess and genuine strength. The iconic muscle handshake between him and Arnold became a classic moment, remembered decades later as a popular meme. He then starred in Action Jackson 1988 and delivered memorable comedic moments in Happy Gilmore and Arrested Development. Weathers is not just an action star, he is a versatile actor seamlessly transitioning between action comedy and drama. But no matter the genre, his athletic foundation remains at the heart of every role. Football forged his toughness. Apollo Creed brought him fame. Predator elevated him to legendary status. And it was his muscles and discipline that made it all possible. Carl Weathers proves that a solid foundation, whether in sports training or discipline, stays with you for life. When you bring real ability to your work, every role you take on becomes convincing and unforgettable. Dolph Lundgren is a rare case of someone who possesses both extraordinary intellect and the physique of a Nordic warrior. While many action stars are either strong or smart, Lundgren embodies both a chemical engineer with a master's degree, a fourth-degree black belt in karate, and a muscular build that caught Hollywood's attention. Born in 1957 in Stockholm, Sweden, Lundgren graduated in chemical engineering and received a full scholarship to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Alongside his academic pursuits, he trained in Kyokushin karate and became a European champion. The combination of scientific intellect and combat strength created a uniquely exceptional individual. Standing 1.95 meters tall and weighing over 108 kilos, Lundgren sculpted his physique through a combination of martial arts and bodybuilding. Broad shoulders, a solid chest, arms over 45 centimeters, and powerful legs made him look as if he were carved from granite. His breakthrough came in Rocky IV, 1985, as Ivan Drago, the cold Soviet boxer who defeated Apollo Creed. Lundgren's imposing physique stunned audiences, clearly showcased in his training sequences and fight scenes. The line, "I must break you," became a pop culture icon. During filming, Lundgren's punch was so powerful that it sent Sylvester Stallone to the hospital, a testament to his real strength. Following that success, Lundgren continued starring in Masters of the Universe, The Punisher: Universal Soldier, alongside Jean-Claude Van Damme, and a host of other action films spanning decades. He maintained his formidable physique year-round through rigorous training and the iron discipline of a martial artist. What set Lundgren apart from many action stars of his era, however, was his intellect. He spoke multiple languages, understood complex technical subjects, and brought surprising depth to roles that might have seemed to require only muscles. MIT wanted his brain. Hollywood wanted his body. The audience got lucky enough to have both. And Ivan Drago remains an unbeatable icon of action cinema. Dolph Lundgren proves that the greatest strength comes from nurturing both mind and body. When sharp intellect meets disciplined training, you can conquer any path you choose. Jean-Claude Van Damme. The muscle-bound boy from Brussels is a rare combination of physical beauty, martial arts technique, and ballet-like agility. Before becoming an international action star, Van Damme was a bodybuilder and professional fighter, bringing grace and fluidity to a world defined by violence and raw strength. Born in 1960 in Brussels, Belgium, Van Damme began studying martial arts at the age of 10. By 18, he had earned a black belt and held an 18-1 record in full-contact fights. Alongside martial arts, he pursued bodybuilding seriously, creating a unique physique, the muscles of a bodybuilder combined with the fluidity of a dancer. Standing 1.78 mm tall and weighing around 80 kilos with a body fat percentage of only 6 to 8%, Van Damme had a chiseled six-pack, well-proportioned arms and powerful legs capable of delivering his signature high kicks. When he moved to the U.S. in the early 1980s, he had to do various odd jobs and even slept in his car, yet he persisted with his training. His breakthrough came with Bloodsport 1988, where he fully showcased his martial arts skills and outstanding physique. After that, his career exploded with Kickboxer 1989, Universal Soldier 1992, alongside Dolph Lundgren, Hard Target Time Cop 1994, and Street Fighter. At the peak of his fame, Van Damme became a familiar face in fitness magazines and earned millions of dollars per film. What sets Van Damme apart is the perfect fusion. He fights like a champion martial artist, looks like a bodybuilder, and moves like a professional dancer. Van Damme performs his own action scenes and fight choreography, creating a sense of authenticity no special effect can replace. Bodybuilders can't kick like he does. Professional fighters don't have his physique. Van Damme stands at the intersection of two worlds, and that is what makes him a legend. Jean-Claude Van Damme shows that true distinction doesn't come from following the same path as everyone else, but from combining your greatest strengths. When you dare to create a one-of-a-kind version of yourself, you become irreplaceable. Lou Ferrigno is the embodiment of the phrase gentle giant. When television needed a real Hulk, they weren't looking for an actor to play big. They wanted someone whose very physique was a special effect, and they found Ferrigno. Born in 1951 in Brooklyn, Ferrigno lost 80% of his hearing due to an ear infection in childhood. This made him a target for bullying throughout his youth. But instead of giving in, Ferrigno drew inspiration from comic books and the legend Steve Reeves. Without enough money to buy weights, he improvised training equipment using broom handles and cement cans, a beginning that marked the start of an extraordinary journey. Standing 6'5", 1.95 mm, and weighing 128 kilos at his peak, Ferrigno possessed body proportions that commanded respect in the bodybuilding world: 22.5-inch arms, a chest over 60 inches, and legs as massive as pillars. At 21, he won Mr. America, and at 22, he became the youngest person ever to win Mr. Universe, a record that still stands today. Training alongside Arnold at Gold's Gym Venice, Ferrigno became Schwarzenegger's biggest rival. Their rivalry was captured in Pumping Iron 1977, where Ferrigno's imposing physique made him stand out just as much as Arnold. That massive, muscular build made him the perfect choice for the Incredible Hulk series, 1977-1982. No padding, no CGI, just green paint. Ferrigno was the Hulk. He performed many of the stunts himself, using real strength to break props, giving audiences a genuine sense of a living, breathing giant. Beyond Hulk, he also starred in Hercules 1983 and Sinbad of the Seven Seas 1989. Ferrigno maintained his impressive physique well into his 60s thanks to iron discipline and a lifelong love of training. Arnold may have more titles, but Lou captured the hearts of millions. The Hulk turned him into an immortal icon, and it was his extraordinary body that made that icon possible. Men like Ferrigno, Arnold, Stallone belonged to an era when muscles were 100% real. No padding, no CGI, no flattering lights, just disciplined sweat-heavy weights and relentless persistence day after day while the rest of the world was asleep. Lou Ferrigno reminds us that weaknesses can become strengths if we rise and fight. From a bullied hearing-impaired boy, he became a global icon through sheer effort and an unbreakable spirit. Thank you all for reliving this golden era of true strength with me. If you also miss these real-deal giants instead of CGI creations, show your power by liking and sharing this video right now. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to support the channel in bringing you more high-quality content. See you next time.